Okay, well, more often than not, we are not lucky enough to get a bill of materials, not lucky enough to get part numbers. We're lucky if we get access to the panel during production to get in there and get part numbers of the specific components in question. So we normally get a call or get an inquiry, and they say, listen, this component's either flickering or we got an alert that it's going to be discontinued soon. So typically, it's on a component level, it's pretty one by one. If a customer came and said, we have an entire machine, which has happened many times before, we'd like to reuse the machine and save a ton of money and just retrofit the control system and maybe freshen up the tooling, right? In that case, we're going to go through, look at the existing system on it, document it, grab the part numbers off of it, and reverse engineer it to a new system standard. We'll do that cross-platform between Rockwell, Siemens, Omron, whatever the customer spec is that they're requiring. And if they're not requiring it, it might be Allen Bradley, it might be Siemens. Depends on the application. But that's typically how we approach a retrofit from a component level side, from an entire system level.
Yeah, I think that that makes a lot of sense. And I guess maybe can you tell us some of the challenges again, because you have to probably research yourself, like what components make sense to replace. You have to go through like an entire, I'm assuming like design phase at that point if you're going to reverse engineer, either a panel or a piece of machinery, and you have to figure out for yourself what needs to be put in and what makes sense today versus what it was 30 years ago. So like what are maybe some pitfalls in that process?
Yeah, so some pitfalls are usually in the quoting process for those kinds of projects. You go out there, you have a limited amount of time to review the machine. You may get prints. You might even be lucky if they can send you ladder diagram program backups, or maybe you could even hook up to the machine if it's modern enough and upload the program, right? But the pitfalls are definitely in trying to translate what's in front of your eyes efficiently and quickly enough to get a accurate quote out to your customer so that you can turn around and actually win the project and deliver on what that machine actually does. Because oftentimes you will find during the engineering phase of a project, you may run into a couple of hidden Easter eggs that you may not have seen just at the surface, right? Especially if you're not given any documentation, which is pretty common for most equipment that needs retrofitted because it's decades old, right? But that's probably one of the biggest pitfalls is catching the little details before they sneak up on you. That's probably one of the biggest pitfalls.